You know, Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's got, you know, he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah. It's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Something. I would say this about Justin Bieber. When people hear about him going insane, like, of course he's going insane. You have no idea what it would be like to be him and to be 17 years old. And girls literally trying to break into his house. They're coming down chimneys. They're flying in on parachutes. They're doing anything they can. They just want to be around him. You want him to be
Justin.
normal?
Oh, man, poor guy.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there was so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I owned.
That stuff's not gonna matter
I wasn't.
to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick and there was all these things and I was like, I can't. You know, there's like, you just can't. Like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible like things that money offers, right? Like, it really had to come from within. So that's I guess our perspective.
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah, it would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive for sure.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
Signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
good.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
Everybody.
Dude, Justin Bieber just nuked Diddy's whole career, and I mean that literally. That's how Joe Rogan opened his most jaw-dropping podcast episode yet. Sitting across from his guest, gripping the table, his voice was low, but his words were deadly. Because just hours earlier, Newly authenticated footage from one of Diddy's infamous parties had gone public. And it wasn't just bad, it was career-ending. Joe didn't mince words. This isn't a party clip. It's not some celeb gossip thing. This is surveillance. This is choreography. This is some fucking cult shit, man. For nearly 3 hours, Rogan tore into the footage, the implications, and most of all, Diddy himself. And as the podcast trended across every platform, the message was clear. The industry's days of covering for Diddy were over. The video that Justin Bieber leaked had already rocked the courtroom, but now Joe Rogan was broadcasting it into living rooms across America, and that changed everything. This is not just some famous dude getting exposed, Rogan said. This is a system breaking open. What Bieber brought to the table, that wasn't just damning, it was dangerous. And thank God he found it. The clip in question ran 14 minutes and 32 seconds. But according to Rogan, it said more than any lawsuit or article ever could. Bro, they're walking these people through hallways like sheep. You've got staff in uniforms talking over radios using this phrase, heartbeat reset, like it's some fucking ritual. Like, what is that? Who does that at a party? Rogan leaned in, eyes wide. You don't need to be a genius to know that ain't normal. That's not VIP treatment. That's control. And that's the word Joe kept repeating. Control. Because what Bieber's footage showed wasn't just staff moving around, it was timing, precision, doors opening and shutting on command, lights pulsing red like a signal, staff murmuring about replenishing bins and linen shortages. All of it framed around one central corridor in a Diddy-owned mansion. Joe Rogan's response? Chilling. This is some Epstein-level stuff, except now it's on video. You hear me? On video. And they can't unring that bell. The internet exploded. Clips of Rogan's reaction went viral in minutes. Rogan just ended Diddy trended on X. Millions who hadn't even followed the case were suddenly glued to the footage, and Joe wasn't done. This isn't just on Diddy, he said. This is on everyone who stayed silent, everyone who went to those parties, everyone who saw SAT and looked away. Then he named names. Where's Jay-Z? Where's Khaled? Where's Usher? These guys were there. They know what happened in those rooms. And with that, the internet had its next headline. Joe Rogan calls out hip-hop elites over Diddy's dark secrets. The podcast became more than a reaction. It became a rallying cry. Rogan didn't just express outrage. He connected the dots, laying out a web of silence and protection that had kept Diddy untouchable for decades. And now, that protection was evaporating. Rogan read straight from court documents, quoting how prosecutors tied Bieber's video to access logs, router data, and camera blackouts. This isn't some gotcha video, he said. This is a fucking blueprint, and Bieber had the guts to give it to the government. He paused. And let's be real. He could have kept that HT buried. He didn't have to say a word, but he did. That's courage. Rogan made it clear, Bieber wasn't a snitch. He was a survivor. And for the first time in years, someone from inside the celebrity bubble wasn't afraid to speak. Everyone wants to be quiet until it hits the fan, Joe said. But Justin, he stepped up. And now the whole damn building is burning. Then, Rogan went deeper. He pulled up older stories about Diddy's white parties, his so-called mentorships, the weird guardianship claims around artists like Usher. He played old interviews where Diddy bragged about keeping people under his wing, sometimes literally. This guy's been doing weird power moves forever, Rogan said, but people laughed it off. They called it eccentric, bullshit, it was grooming, it was manipulation, and now we've got the footage to prove it. And with every new statement, Rogan made the stakes crystal clear. This wasn't just about Diddy anymore. It was about a culture that let it happen. He hammered the industry. These events weren't private, they were organized and people knew. If Bieber's 14-minute clip shows this much, imagine what hasn't come out yet. Imagine how many nights just like this happened and never got caught on tape. As the hours ticked on, Rogan began reading viewer messages live, victims, whistleblowers, former staffers, all sending in messages saying, "Finally, it's about time. Thank you, Joe." And he didn't let up. "This ain't over. You think this is bad? Wait till the rest of the footage starts leaking. You think the feds are done with this? They're just getting started." He warned the celebrities still backing Diddy. "If you're still defending this guy after what we just saw, you're not just tone deaf, you're complicit." Then came the biggest moment. Rogan looked directly into the camera and said, "If any of you were at those parties and you saw something, you better come clean. Because if Justin's footage proves anything, it's that nothing stays hidden forever." And the internet roared. In just one night, Rogan's episode reached millions. Sponsors backed away from Diddy, courtroom pressure intensified, and the footage, it was no longer a sealed exhibit, it was public ammo. Rogan's message echoed across timelines and news feeds. Diddy's empire isn't just cracked, it's collapsing. Because once the public sees what's really going on behind those doors, there's no going back. This wasn't an expose, it was an execution. By the end of the episode, Joe had only one message left. To the people out there who've been protecting monsters like this, your time is up. The age of silence is over. And then he dropped the final line. Diddy tried to control the narrative for decades. But now the truth's got receipts, timestamps, and video, and he's got nothing left to hide behind.